Hello, and welcome back for Session 2 of Book Creator for the Diverse Learning Classroom. I'm so glad to have everybody back with me for this next session where we are really going to focus on the teacher function of Book Creator. So here is our agenda for Session 2. We obviously am welcoming you guys back. If you had any feedback for me, I will be going over that. And then we're going to do the introduction to the teacher dashboard, so you know how to use the teacher dashboard. Then we're going to explore all the different teacher resources that Book Creator has. Then we are going to take some time to brainstorm for activities if you are an assistant or an aide, or possible lesson plans if you are a teacher joining me. And then we're going to take some time to get those ideas actually down on paper. That's why pen and paper is provided for the in-person session. And if you are online with me, then I hope you have some with you. If not, pause this video and get yourself a pen and paper so that you can get some of those great ideas down. And then, of course, we will be closing it all out, and there is an evaluation for the overall professional development for Book Creator that I have put together. Okay, so how to set up and share a library. The first thing you're going to do is create a library, which you did on the last session. And then I briefly showed you where the invite code was, and that is how you're going to share your library with the students. So I'm going to stop the presentation for a minute so we can actually look at that in Book Creator. So here is the teacher dashboard, and in the teacher dashboard there is my library, and here is where I go to show the invite code for others to join. So there would be the code that you would share with your students so that they would be able to join your library and work within your library. Now you are going to set up everything to do with this library, and I will show that to you in just a minute. But one thing I do want to point out is you can come down here where it says expire this code, and you can expire the code. Now, why you might want to do that is to prevent others from joining it for the time being and open it back up. When you expire a code, a new code is then created for your library, and then you can share that new code. So maybe if a student stops being a part of your classroom and you kind of want to take them out of there, this is one way in which you could do that. So, what things do we have control over in our library? Well, here's your library settings. Obviously, you can change and do the library name, allow the image search, which is really as safe as it could possibly be because it's the Google search, and they're all copyright free, or they're free images to use. Students can edit their own books. I have mine, as you'll see, that students cannot publish their books online. That kind of gives you more authority over that because you don't necessarily want your students to be able to do it just on their own when they're feeling like it. This gives you a little more control. And students can read each other's books. You can change this. So if you decided that you didn't want your students to be able to read each other's, you can toggle that, and then they would only be able to look at and work on their own. But obviously for collaboration purposes, you would want them to be able to see each other's and edit each other's. So, and then there's also the archive. So if you decide to upgrade to the paid plan, you might get into the habit of archiving old libraries. So you could use a library for one project, and when the project is over, you could archive this library. There's also a way to permanently delete it after you've archived it, but I'm not going to go into all of that. That is part of the training when you become a certified author. So I keep talking about upgrading. Obviously, you can use this as a free app, and it is very it's very good. The limitation as a teacher is the fact that you only have 40 books into your library. So if this becomes a tool, and I strongly encourage you to try it out first on that first lesson, and if it becomes something that you could see yourself using a lot in the future, it might be worth it. It is not that expensive. It comes out to $10 per month, and you get unlimited libraries and up to 200 books per library. So that gives you a lot more to be able to create a new library per project, to create a new library per year, however makes sense to you. But the free account gives you just the one library with the 40 books, and then you have your own library. So now Book Creator, as we talked about, is compatible with Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge, the Apple iOS 13 Plus, because it does work on iPad but not iPhone. But we are just dealing with the one that is here. So I'm going to get back into the presentation. And we saw the dashboard. So this is kind of what it looks like when you have more libraries in your system. So you could look at, you know, all the different ones that they have here. And then this is shared with me. So when you have a paid account, you can also assign co-teachers and you can collaborate. So this is kind of the shared with me, and you can share your library, your entire library, with others. So the resources that Book Creator has is probably the most impressive part of Book Creator for me. There's an actual resource page just for the teachers. There's also support pages for Book Creator. There's places where you can learn more about how to publish, the privacy, all the different, they abide by all privacy laws, both in the US and abroad. It's actually a UK-based company, so they look at everywhere. And here, let me just click for a second and show you these resources. So down, you're going to scroll down, and there's resources for remote learning. There's kindergarten, elementary, high school, and then of course there are the different subject areas, including special education. And then if you want to actually see books that were created, here are ones done by different Book Creator teams and supporters. And then that's the page, the resource page has everything you could possibly want to look at, and we'll get into a little more of that as I get back into the presentation here. So they have free webinars. They are weekly webinars. You can become a Book Creator certified author like I did. It is a do it at your own pace training. All in all, it took about an hour and 15 minutes. There's a quiz at the end. It is so informative. You do feel like an expert when you are done with it, and it doesn't take that much time. And it's a good way to use your remote Mondays, besides spending it here with me, of course. And then there is a newsletter as well that they publish. And there are, you know, if you're into the social media, they have a Facebook group, and they also have Twitter chats. So let's get into how we can use Book Creator in the classroom, particularly because Book Creator really tackles universal design learning. You know, that it's about taking down the barriers to learning so everybody can learn. And I think Book Creator does that really, really well. So a way you might introduce it into your classroom first would be to just make a all about me book. This would be something that they could show their parents, It might even be able to be used in future IEP meetings, or just you could use it to document, kind of build a portfolio and document goals and milestones. But starting simple where they can just, sky's the limit, make things they like, they can really play with the tools. An About Me book is a really great place to get started and get them familiar with the app. Another way you can look at Book Creator is you could look at what you've already got planned into your lesson planning for the rest of the year and see how you could add Book Creator in as an activity to enhance what you already have planned. So, for example, if you are doing a unit about money, you could create a book in which you match the money with the right amounts, or how much money do you think it would take to buy this item, by using images and money amounts. They can fill it in. You can duplicate books too when you are in your library if you are doing things like that. You can create an exemplar for an upcoming project so kids can see what they can do with Book Creator, because sometimes it helps to have that project to look at and know what is expected and what can be done. They could create books about social situations. There is Social Stories that's created by Carol Gray, which she actually challenged kids to write books on inappropriate social skills. So she had them write books about what not to do in social situations, and that was used with the special education kids. You could create books about routines and procedures that they would have access to in case they needed to review them. And Book Creator just gives them a chance to engage and learn independently. The idea of being able to publish gives them that sense of pride. And something to show their families. Another idea could be a classroom cookbook. I know that the special ed students do cook in the classroom, so maybe making a cookbook would be a really great tool for them, and something that they could take home to their parents, because you can, in addition to publishing these online where anybody that has the link would be able to view it, you can print them as well. So there's different options. You can also download it as an Epub book, which is viewable with any Epub reader. So if you have somebody who does have an iPhone, you could download it as an Epub, and iBooks would work, and they could view it on their phone just like a normal book like they would have in their library. So the options truly are endless. So I want to kind of stop talking now and really let this over to you guys to come up with how best to implement this. So, like I said, for the teachers in the room, take a look at your upcoming lessons and how you could use Book Creator in those lessons. And for the assistants and aides, look at activities you can do, like individual activities that you could do with the students, because this is also a tool that could be used as a one-on-one when the rest of the class is doing something different. Maybe you really will just do an activity with your one-on-one, and this would be a great opportunity for that. So I want to thank you for joining me for the second week in a row. I've really enjoyed talking about Book Creator. I hope that you find it as useful as I do. And please do not forget to fill out the evaluation form. I look forward to seeing all the activities and lesson plans that will be created using Book Creator. And I look forward to being a part of your classroom the first time you launch this to the students. I will be on hand for that, so that if you need me, I am right there as a certified author to help with anything that might arise. Although this tool is really quite simple, I still would like to be a part of the activities. So thank you again, and have a great week.